Alright guys, here we are. We're at the legendary Gingerbread Castle in New Jersey.
And we're about to show you inside.
See the dragon welcoming us in here. He's ready for us to come in. I'm going to show you around. This place is pretty awesome, as you can see from the outside alone.
Alright guys, here we are at Broward doing another epic exploration. We're here inside the Gingerbread Castle with the owner's permission. We're about to show you what's inside here.
This place is pretty unique, guys. Take a look around for yourselves, but see what we got going on here.
One of a kind.
It really is a one-of-a-kind place, and it's
Look at
a
these
little bit of trouble
stairs.
financially.
Look at that. Wow, it's amazing being in here. I've always wanted to come in here.
It's awesome, dude. But those stairs, these were the only stairs we were told we can't walk on because they can't support any weight, so we can't really get up there. But you can appreciate them.
We're gonna go down here in a little bit. It's dungeon area.
Look at that down there. Dungeon. See what we got over here though, Mike.
This is a fairy tale themed amusement park. Well, it was 1930 opened, then went abandoned in the 80s, and here it sits. They're trying to do a restoration project to have this operational again.
And they do have a GoFundMe, which we're going to link in the description. Anybody that can help out, any little bit helps. They really want to turn this place into something special. So they're having a really hard time. You can see all the construction going on, damaging the place, you know, taking a lot of damage, not getting a lot of money back for it.
That was the old mill. They are currently knocking it down.
And they want to turn this into a kind of like a little amusement park.
Yeah.
Which would be really cool. They just need a little bit of help.
This once was a haunted house attraction venue for a little while too back in the day.
Yeah, they hosted some Halloween events here. But hopefully we can see that again one day. We can get this place back up and running.
Mike, what is this?
That's a good question.
Oh man.
That's not something I want to mess with.
Again, the general public, don't try and come here. There's alarms, security cameras. You'll face legal actions because the owner's keeping this secure so it can be restored, not vandalized. So if you don't have permission, you cannot come here. Look at this chair, Mike.
Nice old chair. Yeah, that's a cool chair.
These tiles.
And these tiles are definitely, I don't know what you call them, man, but these are some rare tiles. I can tell you that. I don't want to touch them. I'm not going to touch them.
Yeah, you go first. Got the gnomes here.
Wherever's dungeons, Mike goes first. That's where he goes.
We always send Broward down first.
Always go first in the dungeon. Dark down here.
Narrow staircase.
It's really dark. Hold on, I might need to get a light going. There we go. Whoa. Watch your head here.
Oh, this just keeps going.
It's making half the video.
All right, guys. We reach the bottom.
One of our returning guests.
Oh, cave cricket. Oh, it's cold outside.
It's getting a lot colder down here. Getting a lot colder down here.
And down we go.
In the pit.
This was once one of the biggest attractions in Sussex County, New Jersey.
Let's make it that way again.
Let's see what's hiding down there.
Yeah, we got drippings. Ooh,
What do we got?
we got owls.
Owls. It's neat to see what's inside of here. Like I said, you drive by it all the time, and it's cool to get a look inside.
Another cauldron. Oh, there's your answer to your question before, Mike.
Oh, we can see. Oh, that's where we just were.
This is where they used to drop the bodies. No, but seriously, here. So Old stained glass here. Wow. Like, if you look at this, it's like
More owls.
it's minerals. The way this is dug in. And I don't know, but that looks like this used to be for heat. This might have been for heat because the way this is done, I don't know, it could have been a heat source from down here to warm up the whole building.
Yeah.
Just a guess.
Show people the outside of it.
Let's go out. It's pretty cool out there. You can see that room we were in. It's like it's
yeah.
being held up by trees.
That's pretty neat to see. Look at this from the outside. Incredible. Fairy tale themed amusement park. Here it is, the Gingerbread Castle. Look at all this neat stuff out here.
So awesome. Yeah, that's cool. It's a cherry tree holding up the whole thing. Well, it's not holding it up. It's aesthetically holding it up.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like an old fountain. Maybe not old, but it's a fountain.
And we got this guy up here. Is this Humpty Dumpty?
Good old Humpty Dumpty. Still sitting on his wall. You don't want to know what's cool, and I know this probably is going to sound stupid, but right here, there's a red wasp's nest.
Wait, you can see it?
Yeah. I've never seen a red one, and it's red because they took the cellulose from red wood.
This guy used to work pest control, so he knows all about the bugs.
I've never seen a red one. It's probably from these.
Really?
That's cool because you never see that.
Here we are. So this was inside the gate, and here's outside the gated area.
See it?
We got another Humpty Dumpty over here. There's a lot of construction going on over here. This is neat, Mike. Seeing all this stuff?
It's like Mario Brothers mushroom.
It seriously does.
You got a frog.
All right, guys, here we are with the owner of the Gingerbread Castle. We appreciate him letting us in here, giving us a tour, and we've got a couple questions. First off, how did a place like this even become abandoned in the first place?
Well, it stayed operating continuously from the spring of 1930 to around 1980, and it probably would have continued running, except the factory that surrounds this is like, it was a wiring factory. It's called Plastoid. They went out of business because the owner died and the kids didn't want to run things. So as things shut down slowly at the factory, they shut down the castle, and it kind of just started to fall apart. You know, once you let something go for a few years, it gets overgrown and trees and everything. So, you know, it gets that tipping point where it gets to be like too much, and it's, you know, it's not worth opening. So before it got really, really bad, I think around 86 or 87, a local guy up here and his partner bought the place. The whole place went up for auction, and I think he invested like over $100,000 to refurbish the place. They did the roof, repainted everything, not the original colors. They went with pink, and other stuff. But you know, the windows were still here then. They wasn't as vandalized, so they didn't have to do as much. And I think it rained continuously from like 86 to 2002. And now, of course, they had across the street, so he had a restaurant and a bar over there too, which helped bring in an income. So you'd go over there for something to eat, and then you could get a ticket and come over here and get like a little tour. It was good for kids and families and stuff. And then that guy retired, and he sold it to actually the bouncer that used to work at the bar across the street. The bouncer bought it, and he over leveraged himself, so he over mortgaged everything. He couldn't keep up with the payments, and he said that the town wasn't working with him and people weren't coming to the restaurant, so he had to carry all that mortgage payments without any income coming in. So he started doing, I think, like a Fright Fest kind of haunted house thing. I think he did it for 3 years. And it just kind of decayed a lot after that, because then kids would come in and they would like smash the windows out. He told me that like they'd come in with sticks and break the place, and it was hard to keep it under control. So after that kind of fell apart, then the bank took it over. And the guy that lost to the bank, just went through like the day before the bank took it over, and he stripped everything out. There was a bronze dome used to be here, which is gone. And the tiles I told you about that used to be in the front, the special flint tiles he took. So all that stuff has to be put back, which is expensive and difficult because everything here was like handmade, one of a kind. And so then it went up for auction from the bank, and then a big developer bought it. He was going to put like a hotel or apartments in, condos in the old factory. And then he was going to make this a museum, but then he died, and his kids didn't want it, so then I got it.
Wow.
So it's kind of a long.
Wow. And I hear there's some rumors about ghost stuff, haunting. Can you give us any info on that? Have you heard about that?
Well, I've heard stories, not here, not in the castle, because this was just, like an amusement park, but the wire factory, the building that's to the side over here, I talked to the night watchman that used to work there, and he told me that, you'd hear like a voice, like a man's voice at one end of the building when it was closed. And then he'd go down there and there'd be nothing there. And then he'd hear the same voice at the other end of the building. So he'd be like going back and forth, and there's nothing there. And then somebody had said that somebody had gotten killed in one of the wiring machines. I guess they got wound up in it or something. That I don't know for sure, but I know for sure, because there's newspaper articles, that in the back there's the old abandoned paper mill, which is on the river. And then 2 girls were scalped back there with the big rollers that they flatten the paper. They got their hair stuck and they got their head ripped off.
Wow.
So that definitely happened. So, but nothing here per se. No.
My question for you would be: you have plans to restore this place. What is your vision for it? And the GoFundMe that's going now. Once you reach your goal, how do you see this place?
That's a good question. So I've only owned it for a few years now, and been basically just getting the structural integrity put back, and got rid of all the graffiti, and having the windows replicated, as you can see. And we did the grounds, that was all overgrown with trees. But the GoFundMe I set up a few months ago was basically financial help to do the roof, because the roof, when I had mentioned that it had been renovated in the 80s, they actually spray foamed the roof with like a foam rather than repair the stucco work, because the whole place is like an intricate stucco. And then on the roof, the turrets, there's actually giant hearts with nursery rhyme characters like Hansel and Gretel and Little Bo Peep and all that stuff on there. So I'd like to scrape all that foam off and then restore that detail on the roof, because it was really stood out, when it was new, because it was painted, the hearts were painted red and the roof was like a white, So that's what the GoFundMe's for, is for the roof restoration at this point. And as for, like you said, what my future is, I would like to reopen it as a children's family fun, amusement park, mini park.
Do you have a goal of maybe a time frame you'd like to get all this done, or?
Well, COVID set me back quite a bit, but I'm always looking to try and do maybe like a fall festival or something like that. And then, as you can see, or as you can hear, the old factory is being demolished as we speak. So right now, unfortunately, I have to wait for them to finish, because that's like a big job, and there's been some issues with damage and stuff. So I don't know how long it's going to take for them to complete that. They're telling me a few months. So once that's done, I'll be able to better orient what it is, my time frame, because I can't bring people around with big heavy equipment going back and forth, obviously.
Well, appreciate you having us, and thank you for your time.